What is going on, guys? It's your boy Chris from Sports Pick Chris, and today we're coming at you with another video. So today we're going to kind of go over the national championship game. College football was fantastic all year long, but we're going to get into the game that wins you the trophy. Will be crowned the champion tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern time is when the game. We have the Indiana Hoosiers versus the Miami, Florida Hurricanes at home for Miami, but they are the away team. But they have that home atmosphere in Miami. The line opened at 8.5. It's already down to 7.5, and I believe it opened at 48 or 49.5, and that was dropped to 47.5 as the over-under. So, give you guys a little bit about each team, and then we'll be kind of going off into my pick on who I think will win, and then what way of spread I'm going to go from there. I stay away from player props for college football. There's just too much that can go wrong, go on. For me, I think NFL has a little bit more information than college. But going there, we have Miami Hurricanes. They were 13-2 this year, scoring offense. They scored on average 31 points a game. They own defensive allowed only 14 points a game. They had 31 touchdowns to 11 interceptions on their season totals. Good job, Carson Beck. Rushing-wise, they ran for 2,300 yards and 26 touchdowns, totaling it out with over 6,000 yards on offense, averaging almost 6 yards per play, and then having the third in FBS for passing completion percentage at 42.6% percentage-wise. And they're going against the top passing offense and scoring offense in the the Fernando Mendoza Indiana Hoosiers team. They are averaging 42.6 points a game, only allowing 11 points a game on their defense. It's just an absolute dominant margin of their point differential at 31.5 points per game is their average. Averaging 7 yards per play, 6,900 yards, which that comes out to be 690 yards per game, which is just absolutely blasphemy. 3,600 yards passing wise, averaging 250 yards passing per game from Fernando Mendoza. 46 touchdowns to 7 interceptions. Rushing wise, 3,200 yards. Just a absolute dominant Indiana Hoosiers teams. Obviously, again, we've said his name, Fernando Mendoza, throwing for 41 touchdowns and 6 interceptions for 3,300 yards. Also up there with completion percentage at 73%, just like Carson Beck. Again, Heisman Trophy winner. Guy's an absolute animal. Some really big indicators is it's going to be, I think, defense for both teams. I know Indiana gets a lot of love for their offense, as they should. Heisman Trophy winner, future first overall pick, the next Las Vegas Raiders quarterback, and Fernando Mendoza. But that defense is also just so dominant, and we've seen it again against the Oregon Ducks, and just in this entire playoff push. That team is just stacked from offense, defense, and Sig again is now becoming a top coach in this league for college football as well. And then, at least going to the flip side, it sounds like a lot of glazing going from Indiana, but then we have Miami. Again, haven't been here since 2001, back, that was like the Ray Lewis days. This is also Indiana's first time ever going to the national championship and competing for, obviously, to win their first in school history as well. So again, we got some again two really good teams. Offenses are obviously, we all know the Hoosiers offense dominant, but what really stands out is that Miami defense. So we really are going to be seeing a lot of also high draft picks in this game. I mean, we could have 2 top 5 picks play, maybe 3 top 10 with Miami's offensive linemen, obviously that their defensive edge, and Fernando Mendoza. All 3 can be picked in the top 5 to top 10, which is just crazy to even think about, that there's just so much top talent on both of these teams. So, again, the line opened at 8.5. It's down to 7.5. If I'm a betting man, which I am, and what I've kind of just, from what I've looked, from what I've seen from an eye test, from someone who bets football regularly, coaches varsity high school football, myself, I just don't know how this Indiana team is going to lose. Obviously, minus 325 is not a hot bet, but I would, if you can buy Indiana down a little bit more, to like 2.5. Depends how confident you are. Maybe 6.5. You can try to buy them down to 6.5 from that touchdown. Try to stay away from some of those key numbers. I would buy out of that 7.5. I would go to 6.5 if you are gonna play the spread. Or I do think Miami can keep it close if there's another turn that you want to put to it. If you want to stay, I can't get to 2.5 because we're minus at 300. But if you want to stay at 14.5, again, a key number, you're at minus 230. I also like, I think the game's going to be close. I don't think the Hoosiers are going to run away with this game. I think Miami's defense is too good for them, for Fernando Mendoza to throw the football over the field and everything along those lines. So, personally for me, I'm going to take Miami at plus 14.5 and then parlay that with Indiana to win. And we're looking at a payout from $50 to 91. We were at minus 120. Something I like. You can root both ways. Something that I really enjoy doing these days is betting one way on a high one and then going the other way with it. It kind of helps. The totals, if I had to lean one way, I would lean the over. But I think there's just too much money going on the over right now that's keeping me away from it. But like Indiana averaging again, points per game is 42. Miami's averaging 32 points per game. Defense is giving up 11 on the Indiana side and 14 on Miami. So on that one, you're looking at 25 points. No way that Fernando Mendoza is going to score 14 points. I don't. Same thing I think with Carson Beck's team going into Miami. I don't think they score 11 points. I just think that the defenses are going to be really good. Both of them, they're stout. So is the offenses. We're seeing that this Miami offense that we weren't expecting to be as dominant, with Malachi Toney kind of showing up as well too. We weren't expecting that offense to explode, but it has. And Carson Beck has looked really good. In my opinion, Carson Beck goes off to win the national championship tomorrow. He's a first round quarterback. He slips into the last round of the quarterback in the draft, in my personal opinion. But if this is probably what I'm going to lay, plus 14.5 with Miami, parlay that with Indiana money line. You send out minus 120, something that I really like doing. Again, I'm staying away from the total yards. I know I like betting on the total yards once in a while, but this is last football game of the year. I'm not going to mess around. We're going to make our money where we can. Again, Miami plus 14.5, Indiana money line. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If it's something that you guys are interested in, you like my content, feel free to subscribe. We're going to try to come up with more videos. First video back. That was a great time to get into it, as well as Twitter. Twitter always has a free play every single day. So if you miss the videos or the lines change or the odds change from what we have on YouTube, then look on Twitter. We should have a free play for you guys. So again, give me a like, and again, subscribe. My Twitter will be down in the description as well. And I hope you guys have a great day. And go Indiana.